make the best out of it. That's all it is. Just make the best out of it. That's always been me when I was a teacher. I've always enjoyed being a teacher. It's not like, okay, I was miserable about a lot of things, but I enjoyed being in the classroom teaching, like the good part of teaching, right? So that's what you owe to yourself. You don't owe it to anybody else. You owe to yourself to bring the joy in every single day of your life. You do it in the classroom, you do it in your business, you're doing it for you. The more you do it for, oh, I have something to prove for somebody.
Welcome to the Biz Builders podcast, where we believe building the business of your dreams can change your life. I'm your host, Sandy Patterson, former teacher turned certified life and business coach. After 14 years of teaching, I took a huge leap, left my job, and built 2 successful businesses with no business or sales background. Now I'm living the life of my dreams, and I'm ready to help you do the same. You're in the right spot here if you're ready to dig into not only the strategy of business building, but also the belief in yourself that building a business is possible. You're made for this, and you've got exactly what it takes to create the financial, time, and location freedom you're craving. Over here, we value progress over perfection. We embrace being uncomfortable, and we believe that anything, literally anything you want, is possible for you with the right strategy, mindset, and support. You'll also hear inspiring stories here and, of course, failures of women who are doing the same thing. The whole idea is if she can do it, so can I. Thanks for being here. Let's dive in. Hello, and welcome back to another episode. I am so excited, you guys. I have a very special guest here today. We have Farah Bazzi. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, you said it perfect. You're right.
Oh, yes, she was. Farah was helping me pronounce her name correctly before we started recording, so I'm excited. I got that correct. Gonna keep practicing. But Farah is I had this all pulled up and then look at me. Now I don't. Okay, she is a brand strategist, a master storyteller, a business owner, and a teacher on leave, and just an all-around amazing woman. And I am so excited to have you here today. So welcome to this podcast space, Farah.
Thank you, Sandy. I'm so excited to be here, to join your guests, and to just have this conversation with you.
Yes, it's always so good. People always ask me about the podcast, and I'm like, the best part of the podcast has been connecting with some truly amazing women. Like, this has been the space to really connect, and it just really shows that, like, we can do hard things. We do hard things every day, and we do really amazing things, and I love celebrating that. So I have a few questions for you. These are just fun questions. I didn't preload you with these questions before we started recording, so don't think too hard, okay? All right. So the first question I have is, where are you located, and what's the weather like there right now?
So that's an amazing question. I'm in Dearborn, Michigan. And right now, you guys, it's pouring rain. It just stopped trickling for a while. So if you hear something that sounds like, like a lot of rough, that's exactly what's going on. In Michigan, we're known for our crazy weather. It was like 95 degrees yesterday. And today it's probably in the 80s, but just pouring the whole day. So this is where I am.
Wow. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. What is something that most people don't know about you?
That's a hard question because I'm a very open person. I think you could tell I'm a very transparent person. Something they don't know about me. I don't know. I mean, I really can't.
Oh my gosh, I stumped you.
Yeah.
I stumped you.
I don't know. I think that, maybe something that a lot of people don't know about me was that growing up, I wanted to be a coroner. I wanted to do autopsy.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay.
Yeah, that's something that's a story. Maybe I've shared that with a couple of my students before, but I was really fascinated with the human body, which is how I became a biology teacher, right? Yeah. But growing up, I really wanted to do autopsy on people and discover the human body on my own, see it in person, all of that. And I think when I was like 16 or 17 or something, I got to go with my brother's college at that time. He was in nursing school, and we got to watch an operation. And it was really cold, I remember. And it was something that I was like, no, I don't want to be in such a cold place for the rest of
Oh, you mean like the temperature was actually cold?
It was really cold because it's an operation room, right? It's actually freezing in an operation room.
Yeah.
So I think that by that time I knew that this wasn't going to happen, but that was the final call where,
Oh my gosh. I'm going to share with you, when I was growing up, this is the funniest thing. I wanted to work at SeaWorld, and I wanted to be that person that like gets in the water and like rides on the back of Shamu. And then like now I won't even like, I'll barely like get in the pool. I'm like, no, like I won't even go underwater. So it's just funny to think about that, but that's really cool. Thank you for sharing that. That's really cool. I love it. Yeah. Okay. Another question for you. This is a fun question. If you could eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Not eat, but drink coffee for sure for the rest of my life.
Coffee, girl.
Coffee is, we actually, I'll share that out. We have a month of the year, and I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with that. Ramadan, where we fast the whole month. Yes. It's very similar to Lent, right? And you don't have to give up something, because we just fast where we stop eating from sunrise to sunset. And this past Ramadan, I just completely cut off coffee. So like I just didn't, why would I have it at night? It wouldn't put me to sleep, all of that. So I stopped it. And, I was hoping that my body would feel, so much better, more. And girl, right when Ramadan was done, that very first morning.
Back to the coffee.
It was like, I'm back to seeing my lover for the first time. So
yes, I love that. That's so funny. I don't drink coffee. I think I'm like one of the only people on this planet that does not drink coffee.
I know another good friend that is a tea person that doesn't drink coffee either. Okay. I don't understand her, but
I don't know. Okay, and then last question: cats or dogs?
I'm not a pet person. I truly, absolutely love birds. My daughter wants a goldfish now. But, I think that if I were to have something at home, it would probably be cats, just because of the self-maintenance thing. Yeah, I'm so influenced by how dogs are so emotional and connected. And it's just, I love dogs from a distance, right? So it's kind of like, like your grandkids or whatever, or nieces and nephews, you love them, but you want to keep them at their parents' house.
Give them back.
Yeah. Exactly. And I've just seen, I'm so fascinated by all the stories that I've heard from owners, the connections they've made. I'm sorry, I got to put my phone on silent. With, the dogs that they've had. It's so fascinating how they can feel you, connect with you, and really be that loyal. So probably emotionally, I would say dogs. Practically, I would say cats. Yes.
You're smart. You're smart. Okay, well, let's go ahead and dive in. So I'm so excited to hear your story and just share. Why don't you just share a little bit about who you are and what you do?
So my name is Farah, everybody. I was born and raised in a semi-island in South Lebanon. I grew up there, and I stayed there up until I was 17. So I graduated from high school in Lebanon. And Lebanon is a country on the Mediterranean. It's a beautiful country with a lot of diversity and beautiful people. Then when I was 17, my dad decided, hey, you got family in America. Why don't you go there for college? And so I came here. I finished a double bachelor's in biology and psychology, and I really wanted to get kind of like pursue my PhD in bio. Then I started subbing because there was no jobs with a bachelor's in bio, right? And I realized that kids, hey, they don't have this passion for science that I did. They're not interested in science, or they find it a difficult subject, whatever. So I was like, I'm going to be a teacher, which is exactly how all teachers become a teacher.
Right.
Superhero move, right? So,
Mhm.
so I'm going to be a teacher, and I'm going to change that. Science is actually really cool and fun. And I I got certified, and I did my master's in science education. And then I started teaching biology for, I would say, 9 to 10 years before I had my twin girls. So when it was 4 years or 3.5 years into my teaching career, I've had my eldest daughter, Julia.
Uh-huh.
And then later on, in exactly on March 3rd of 2020, this is like a very, what do you call it? Apocalyptic,
Yeah.
point in my life. It was
Yes.
COVID year, so it changed everybody's life, including mine. But on March of 2020, when the world shut down, I also had my twin daughters, Angelina and Catalina.
Oh my gosh. So
Yes,
you are a busy mama too.
I am. So I finished the school year at that year because, we all went virtual. And I was like, okay, you know what? It's true, I had twins, but I can finish the year so I can get paid through the summer, right? And I can start my leave after. And that's what I did. I took a leave. I thought that it was going to be for 1 year. Then
Uh-huh.
it became a leave for 3 years. And during that leave, I started a business. And my business has been growing ever since.
Oh, that is so cool. I didn't know that that was when you started your business. Tell us a little bit about your business and what you do.
Yeah, so when the twins were exactly one, so on March of 2021, I had to, I'm going to talk to your audience, a lot of them may be teachers. So they would know if you're on a leave, you have to tell your district whether you're going to renew the leave or go back to teaching within a year, right? So it was that time, and I had to make a decision. And to be honest, in the beginning, it was more of a practical decision. I really wanted to be back in the classroom because I missed the students and I missed being there. And when you're a teacher, you don't know anything else about being a teacher, right?
Right. Right.
You're in this zone and you're in this bubble, and you know how it feels like, and you don't care about anything else.
Right.
So I really wanted to be back, and I had never stopped working all of my life. So it was really difficult for me that very first year with the twins. But then putting the twins in daycare meant that all of my paycheck is going to go to daycare.
Mm.
So I had to pause and think, okay, am I going to work for free for a year and leave my kids with somebody to take care of? Is it worth it?
Yeah.
So I had to make the decision that no, it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
And that was right now, it's such an easy decision for me. But at that point, it was the most difficult decision of my life. Because I had to make that decision, it was I realized actually later on in August, so like 6-7 months later, when everybody was back to school and I wasn't, the very first day, that's something that I've never shared before that I'll share with you. The very first day of teachers back to work, I was crying that whole day, and I didn't know why. And I realized that my grieving process started the day that I decided that, okay, I'm out of the classroom. Now I have to think, what's my plan B? And I didn't realize that I was really out until later on. So to kind of alleviate the stress and to still stay busy and whatever, I've always loved greeting cards. I loved, writing cards for people, designing my own cards. So I started making few, and it was COVID. I sent some family members, I hope you're doing well during these times and whatever. And then later on, I shared some of these cards with people. And because they had our language and kind of our culture, people absolutely loved them. So it was just a week into me designing my very, 2 cards maybe. And my brother came up to me. He's like, oh, we're going to open an LLC for you. You're going to open an LLC. You got to start your business. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is just, I'm just having fun. What do you mean business? Me, teacher, and a business owner? It was impossible.
Yes.
So I started the business there. We started as a, greeting card stationery line that tells the stories of Arab women and celebrates culture. And a year later, people started asking me for wedding invitations. And again, this is something I did not want to do. But right now, we're the leading brand in wedding invitations in our area, because we're doing something that nobody else does, around me. Mm-hmm. And then a few months later, people, people around me, I'm not talking about friends and family. I'm talking about, Merasil's first audience, right?
Yeah.
They were like, wow, like your brand is really authentic. I really love how you do it. And during this time, as a teacher, when you dive into something, you really dive well into it, right?
Yep.
So I started studying design and branding, and I helped 2 other women create their own brands. And I realized that the part that I love most about my business is telling the story of the brand.
Oh, I love this. You have said so many things right now.
Yes, I'm sorry.
No, I don't want to, there's so many times I'm like, I want to say something, but I'm like, I just want to hear you keep speaking. So I'm going to go back for just a second. So it was interesting when you said, in the moment, that seemed like the most difficult decision to say, I'm going to forfeit this school year. I'm going to stay home with my kids. But in hindsight, you're like, well, obviously that was an easy decision, right? Isn't it interesting how so many decisions like that, like in the moment we make it so like, it's so stressful and it's so scary, and we create this thing in our head about like, oh my gosh, what if this happens? What if this happens? But then you do it. And in hindsight, you're like, what if I hadn't have?
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what business teaches you? Ever since then, I've been making these decisions every single day.
Yeah.
The decisions that are scary and don't feel right, but, are worth the risk.
Yes.
Every single day, I'm making those kind of decisions, and you're just thinking, so what? But the teacher's mentality is very different. Your image froze, Sandy. I don't know why. Okay, coming back. But what do you call this? The teacher person. The mentality is different because we're planners, right? So we want guaranteed results. We know if I do 1, 2, and 3, if I plan for this lesson this way, these are the only 2 or 3 possible outcomes. A business owner's mentality or an entrepreneur's mentality is very different.
Very different.
There's obvious outcomes that they can come out, or this could completely flop, and that is totally okay.
Which it does. Yeah. I think you're so right. And you really tapped into something that I see in a lot of the teachers that I work with too. It's this idea of trying to control the outcome and trying to know exactly what's going to happen, and not being like having a really hard time letting go of that control and letting go of that, just that idea that like, we don't know actually what's going to happen, but we're going to go with it no matter what. And you're right. Those decisions, those hard, scary decisions do happen every day in business. You're absolutely right. You also talked about how you were a week into your business, just kind of doing it for fun. And then your brother was like, we're going to make you an LLC. And you said, wait a second, like, what do you mean? Where was the point where you actually started seeing yourself as a business owner?
What was the question again? Where I started myself as a business, because your line is cutting. I couldn't hear you.
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
That's okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but yeah, I'm not sure if maybe it's the storms and winds around me. You said, where was the point when what?
Yeah. So when was the point for you where you actually really started to see yourself as a business owner, not just like doing this for fun, this is a hobby, I'm a teacher, but yeah.
Yeah, I think honestly, fully as a business owner, and I don't want to say that I've totally given up on the teacher inside me, because part of what I do is I coach women through their brands, and and teaching it's kind of like a skill, right? Like, okay, you learn how to ride a bike, you don't give that up if you don't want to ride a bike again. It's just a skill, right? It's part of you. So the thing, the decision is about hierarchy. Which part of you is the overarching personality or the overarching persona that you want to be in? So in the very first year of my business, absolutely, my teacher persona was still the overarching, it was still there vividly, because the business was what I'm doing in the meantime until I go back to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, because I did not expect the business to grow like it did. Then the business started growing. So then I was thinking, okay, you know what? I'm a teacher and a business owner, and they kind of go hand in hand. What that did, it was a good thing, because I want everybody to hear that. As a teacher, you're more qualified to be a business owner than anybody else on earth. Like,
I 100% agree with that. 100%.
Yes.
Yep.
So we're at such an advantage, right?
Right.
But eventually what this does, this confusion, or this you trying to stay in both, it creates that confusion and less of a clarity, because it means that you're not fully in. And unless you're fully in, you're not going to see the results that you want to see. So I think what happened was, this year what I did, I finished my 3 years of leave, and our district allowed up to 3 years of leave.
Yeah.
And I could either not go back to teaching and just completely give up the position at the district, or even the profession. And I was ready to do that in the fall, or I could go back and test things out. And I decided that, okay, I'm going to go back and see how I feel, because I'm not going to know if me leaving the profession was really what I wanted to do or not. And I remember me and you even talked half through the school year or whatever, and I told you I'm really testing this out. And I was back just to see how I feel about being. Now it was the opposite way. It was the business owner going back into teaching. Yeah. And now my mentality is different, right? Yeah. And by the end of the year, I'm either going to be like, oh no, being a teacher is really my thing. And that's what this is where I want to, and I love the security, and I love whatever. Yeah. Or I knew that I was going to be like, oh, I'm done. And I'm done. And I was done. So I think I want to tell myself that I was completely in through the second year of being a business owner, or the third year, whatever. But I was completely done when I did the opposite. When I tried going back to teaching, being a business owner, and juggling both, and I knew this is okay. Like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Like,
why am I doing this to myself?
Why am I doing this to myself? Exactly. Why am I doing this to myself?
I know. What are your favorite things about being a business owner? Why is it so clear to you now that that you were made for this?
Obviously, number one thing is flexibility. Number two thing is having the ability to control the trajectory of your project, right? So I don't want to say the outcome, because there's really no control of outcomes ever. You should never expect that. But you have the ability to control the journey, the pathway. You get to decide that. But and there's no room for complaints or venting, or because you have nobody to complain to, and nobody to kind of blame. Right. And the teaching world and environment, we're always like, oh yeah, I can't do this in the classroom because of the system, because of this. And now, hey, it's all on me. And that's kind of like a double-ended sword. But what it does is it puts the responsibility on you, and on you being objective with yourself, that these are the strategies it's really not personal anymore. Teaching is very, very personal. And and that's actually wrong. It shouldn't be. Teaching is there's a lot of focus on, what did I do wrong? What did I do with this kid? Whatever. It's really not about you. Yeah. If you are, I think that, teachers eventually, the more objective, the less subjective you become, the more you're focused on what moves did I take, or what kind of tactics that I had. It becomes, and that didn't work out in the classroom. That's okay. What are we going to do next? And try it out. Then you become a happier teacher. You know what I'm saying?
It's more strategic. And I think something that I noticed too, that a lot of my teacher clients, because a lot of my clients are teachers or former teachers, they're just in my space and they're either starting businesses or they're in their business, and they take a lot of things in business very personally. And that's one of the first things that I'm like, oh, no. We're leaving that at the door. Like, none of this is personal anymore. Maybe it was personal for you in the classroom, and that's fine, but leave it there. Nothing now is personal. And once we can let go of that, you're right. We look at it more objectively and we're like, wait, it's like a puzzle and this piece isn't fitting in there. Let me just turn it this way and see if that works. So let me move it around a little bit and see if that works. So.
And it's really hard when you're working on a brand, because it's kind of like your dream, right? Oh, this is what I left teaching for. Then it has to be something that's just super personal and super important to me. Yeah. Could you hear the rain?
Yes. It's kind of relaxing though.
I know, isn't it beautiful? Here's another great thing about being a business owner. I get to be in my sunroom, you guys, which I call my studio. Yes. And it's pouring and it's always sunshine and whatever, and I get to explore it. And it's just, there's so much good. Like, you can't even think about it. But what I wanted to say is that this is easier said than done, but you train yourself to not take it personal and to understand. So like my business name is Marasil, which means packages of love. That's what it means in Arabic. Yes. So Marasil it always felt like one of my children. I got 3 girls and then I got 4. I got Marasil, right? A business feels like your child.
It does.
It's so important to you, but at the same time, guess what? It doesn't define who you are.
Yes. It does not define you.
So you can still be the best business owner and the best version of yourself, even if your business project did not get to where you've wanted to.
100%. And I see so many people that get stuck on like these tiny little like things that are so insignificant and so irrelevant in the bigger picture. And what ends up happening is it takes them out of the game for like this certain amount of time, right? But when we can't disassociate and be like, this doesn't define me, this doesn't change anything about my business or the success that I'm going to be able to create, we move a lot faster and with a lot more ease and a lot more flow. But you're right, it's hard. It's hard to get to that point because we're as women and teachers and just humans, like we care. We want to do a good job and we want it to work, like you said. Like if I'm leaving this one thing, I want to make this amazing. And I have not worked with one teacher. Actually, I have not worked with one teacher that has not like put their whole heart into their business and what they're doing and the impact that they're creating, which is a truly beautiful thing. And that's part of why I think teachers make such great business owners.
But I think the mindset should shift to, instead of, okay, I'm going to do everything in my power to make this work. Let's, shift the question or the mindset into, what if this works? Right?
Yeah.
And then, well, is it worth a try? Versus, what if I don't even try?
Exactly. I was just talking to a client about this morning, and I said, what would you tell your students? Like if your students said to you, I want to do this.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm going to like it. I don't know if it's going to work out. I don't know. Like, what would you say? And she was like, well, I guess I would tell them to just, there's no way to know unless you try.
Yeah.
But again, it's making those hard decisions, and it's scary. It's scary sometimes.
It is. And it could be costly. It could be scary. It's costly. It's time consuming. Yeah. You think, I'm losing my youth, my years ahead of me, my retirement years, all of this, you guys, it's the biggest joke. I swear.
I totally agree. I look back and I think about the things that I was worried about when I was getting ready to leave my teaching job. And in hindsight, I'm like, those were the stupidest things to be worried about. Like, you had no business worrying about any of those things. And it's like risk reward. Like there is a risk, but the reward is just this most beautiful life that you've created for yourself, where you get to call the shots, you get to make your schedule, you get to be there for your family, you get to impact people in a way. And like you said, like do something that nobody's done and share that joy and that love, right?
Yep, 100%. And if you're somebody who doesn't want to think about it and wants to go to work and do what you're good at and then come back home, then that's okay. Make the best out of it. That's all it is. Just make the best out of it. That's always been me when I was a teacher. I've always enjoyed being a teacher. It's not like, okay, I was miserable about a lot of things, but I enjoyed being in the classroom teaching, like the good part of teaching, right? So that's what you owe to yourself. You don't owe it to anybody else. You owe to yourself to bring the joy in every single day of your life. You do it in the classroom, you do it in your business, you're doing it for you. The more you do it for, I have something to prove for somebody. I mean, it was the hardest thing for me to go from a person with a master's degree and a science educator to a person that designs cards, you guys.
Yeah, you're like, I don't have a degree in like graphic design. I don't know. I was the same way. I'm like, I don't know how to run a business. Like what? Like that doesn't.
Yeah. But you know what? But it was the best thing. It was the best thing.
Here we are, right? Yeah. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful conversation. Okay, so I have one more question. This is kind of related to like, because you do, like you talked about, you help women with design and branding, essentially build their brand.
Right.
And really stepping into like that authentic version and creating this brand that shows them that where they can be the brand, right? Yes. So, and this might be a really loaded question. This might be a whole nother podcast episode, but what would you say? What would you say to somebody who is just starting off and building their brand? What do they need to, what's the most important thing to keep in mind?
So, there's so many ideas about what is a brand, right? People make so many assumptions. So we're going to assume that you have an understanding that a brand is kind of like a reputation or a leftover feeling. So, Farah the teacher, when I was a teacher in high school, I had a certain brand, right? People and students knew me as a certain person. So think about it as the leftover feeling that people have, whether it's of your product or of your services, when this experience is over. Your question was, what do you need to hone in on, or what do you need to focus on? The very first thing that you got to do is you really have to understand the identity of your brand. Who's your brand? What does it represent? If it's your personal brand, if you're the coach or the person, right? Who are you? The more you know yourself, the more you are very clear on your brand. So what are your values? What are the things that bother you? What are the things that bring you pain? And what are the things that bring you joy? And the more you're more comfortable with them, the more clarity you have on your identity, then you're able to create a perception in other people about who you are. So right now, for example, I'm very clear on my values and I'm very clear on who I am. So let's not talk about the personal brand. Let's talk about a product, because that's, kind of more tangible, a little bit easier. So, for example, I don't know if this is one of my products. Is it okay if I pick up one of my,
Oh yeah, go for it.
Okay. So, So this is a thank you card, right? It's a thank you card, and it's written in Arabic. It has tulips on it, and you can see the overarching feel of the card. There's a lot of white space and all of that, because Merasil as a brand, it's a very airy, very clean, super elegant, but at the same time, it has to be meaningful with something very simple. So this one says, "Min qalbi yislamu," which means thank you from the bottom of my heart. Okay, this thank you. This way we say thank you. It's kind of like thanks. So it's more of spoken language. So it's not a formal language. So when you read that, if you're somebody who reads the language, you get a perception that, hey, this card speaks my day-to-day language. So now, okay, I'm creating a perception in the other person based on how I'm presenting my product or myself. And when I'm creating a perception, I'm making a connection. Again, clear on identity. I create a perception. You're able to make a connection. And when you're able to make a connection with me or my brand, together we have an experience. This experience is called a brand.
I love it. And I love how you said that leftover feeling that people have when they walk away from the experience. That's a really cool way of describing it. I really love that. Thank you.
But you go to a coffee shop. You want to go there every time because you want to smell the coffee beans.
Mm-hmm.
That's the experience that you go and you feel there. That's why you go there. You don't go there because of the coffee or
right.
That's
right.
part of their brand. Or you go to another coffee shop because they have the cozy vibes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's the vibes,
Who are
right?
you? So ask yourself, how do you want people to feel when they sit and talk to you? Or how do you want people, and you shouldn't be doing this, it shouldn't be hard work.
Right. Because you're already you. You're already you.
Yeah.
You're already in there. Yeah. Oh, I love this. Thank you so much for that. That's really, really helpful. And it just so many great things in this whole conversation. So the last question that I'll ask you before we wrap this up is, what final piece of advice would you give someone who is doing something scary?
Oh, just do it.
I know.
Think about it. Just dive. I'm looking at my pool in my backyard and I hate cold water.
Uh-huh.
And every time I go in, I just hate it. So I get myself so slow into the water and I dip little parts of my body. Yes. And my daughter keeps telling me, just jump in the water, just go in. And every time I'm like, okay, I just have to do it. I jump in. What's the feeling after? It's the best feeling after when you're completely immersed in the water because you're refreshed, right?
Yeah.
So if you're scared, that's a very good sign. I love when I get scared or when I get worried.
Yeah.
Because I know that there's a lot of energy coming my way.
Yep.
And so it's waiting for me to open the door. And once I open the door and I'm in, it means something big is going to happen. I love it. The worst thing that could happen to you is when you're having no feelings during the process, because it means that, I don't know, is this good? Is this worth it? That feeling of confusion, that feeling is the worst to me. But when it's scary or exciting or like it's this feels like it's the crazier the better.
The crazier the better. Yeah. I love the pool example too. That is so true, and it's a great metaphor. Just dive in. Just go for it. Just do it.
Go for it. Just dive in.
Worst too is letting the fear win, right? And then looking back and be like, dang, what if I had of? What if I had?
You know what fear is? Fear comes from ignorance, from not knowing. We're scared of things that we don't know. So, a lot of people are scared of other people, right?
Yes,
because they don't know anything about them. But when they sit and talk to people, they're like, oh, she was actually nice because you opened up an opportunity to talk. But when you keep it close to yourself, you're gonna build these, stories in your head.
Yeah,
you're scared. It's the same thing. If I don't jump into the pool, I'm always gonna feel like I've missed out. What if I did swim?
That's the worst feeling. That is the worst feeling of missing out and being like, damn, I wish I had of. It's the worst.
I tried. Yeah. It's so scary. Everybody's gonna make so much fun of me. I'm trying this business. They're gonna tell me now in your career you're gonna do that, whatever, this and that.
You're crazy.
Sure, you wanna be, and I'm sorry to say that, but you wanna be on your deathbed thinking, I'm so grateful that I lived my life where nobody was upset with me. Is that what you want to tell yourself?
No.
Right? Or you want to say, I'm so glad I tried. Wow, it's boring.
Oh, that's so neat.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, Farah. I really, really appreciate it. And I knew just from our conversations on Instagram, I was like, this is going to be a really, really amazing call. And I loved it. And I know everybody listening is going to love this too. So
thank you for giving me the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Oh, of course. So where can people find you?
So people can, follow my teacher/entrepreneur journey. How I went from, I called it teacherpreneur, not teacherpreneur. because it's more of an entrepreneur side, right? They can follow my journey there if they want to see more of the real behind the scene, the raw videos, and the personal. Something that I enjoy doing a lot is I enjoy writing. So I share a lot of my blogging there. They can find that. It's called Teacherpreneur. Or if you want to check out my business and my personal brand, you can find Merasil Cards, Merasil Weddings, for luxury stationery with Arabic calligraphy. If you want to talk about your brand, and I'd love, I always open 15-minute free consultation to anybody that wants to talk about, hey, that's what I'm thinking, where should I start? Or that's what I have with my brand right now. Kind of like a quick assessment. Where do I need to go? I'd love to help you out. It's, my book is open and you're more than welcome to schedule some time.
Awesome. Okay. And I'll put all those links in the show notes so people can easily click and find you. And yes, go support Farah and her mission and this beautiful thing that you're doing. Yes. And thank you for sharing your story and just your beautiful heart and mindset. And this was just such a breath of fresh air. So thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you, Sandy. You too. Yeah. I appreciate you. And I follow your podcast as well. It fills my heart with joy to see all of these women that come in and they have amazing stories. And you guys, the more we do this, the more power to us.
Yes, absolutely. It's all about building each other up. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Farah. We'll see you guys next time. Okay, I don't know why, but the stop record button is blacked out and it shows that it's still recording, but I just can't stop recording. So we'll cut this last.
That's all right.
What's happening. But thank you so much. That was so good. It's so wonderful talking to you. You really are a breath of fresh air. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you for
bringing me on. Your mindset too is just so good. Thank you.
Thank you. And maybe, you know what, maybe one day, maybe you can put something together where you bring these different teachers and different business owners and I think you have that maybe in your program where they just support each other and share with each other, here, this is what works, this is what's not working. I just feel like, I obviously connect with a lot of other business owners on a daily basis, every single day.
Yeah.
But it's one thing being a business owner and another thing being a former teacher business owner.
I agree. We have a very different perspective on a lot of things and a lot of grit and a lot of we're problem solvers. That's just what we do. And so it's fun. It's a really special thing. So yeah, that's definitely something to think about. So thank you. And we will keep in touch. I will let you know. I'm going to get this over to my editor and she'll clean it all up for us. And then I'll let you know when it's going to go live and we can share it. You're welcome to share it with your people if you feel like doing that.
Of course.
Yes.
And thank you everywhere.
Awesome. Cool. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Farah. Have a wonderful day. Stay dry.
You too.
Yes. I'll talk to you on Instagram or soon, or I'll talk to you soon.
All right. We'll talk. Right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye. You're welcome. Thanks for listening, you guys. If you're ready to get your business going and making money and to step into that next level version of you, I would love to support you make that happen through strategy, mindset work, and my Cut the BS style coaching, because it's always better, quicker, and more fun to have someone who's already been through it support you. Shoot me a message over on Instagram with the word ready and we can chat and get your questions answered about coaching and how I can support you. I cannot wait to hear from you.